Welcome back to our last lesson on identity fraud in our borrowing unit. At the end of our last section, I asked you to complete activity 2.10, take preventative action. And I just want to remind you all that taking preventative action can also help you in your personal life. Things like Facebook and social media, there are privacy settings that can help you make sure that even your identity on Facebook isn't stolen. Things like listing your real birth date or mailing address or anything that has to do with your password to get onto Facebook, or even like answering your security questions. Those are things that you don't really want to share or put out there for the world to see. You can also edit your privacy settings, especially on places like Facebook and Instagram, even Snapchat. You can limit what other people see and what people who aren't your friends see. Sometimes there are privacy settings that let people not search for you unless they are already a friend with somebody that you know. It's also a good idea to pick a strong password. So a password like ABC is really easily hacked into. Nowadays, most websites or password agencies say that you have to have at least one capital letter, a number, and some special characters, and it needs to be at least 6 to 8 characters long. Some are even longer than that. So pick a strong password, something that it's going to be difficult for other people to guess what that password is, and then there's so many different permutations that a password can have, whether you put capital letters in the middle or whether you have numbers instead of letters. That can help just make a strong password that's not easy for somebody else to discover. Always stay cautious. When you are on social networking sites, the messages that you send to your friends aren't always as secure as you think they are. You think you might only be sending them to one person, but depending on your personal profile settings, other people, it's very easy for other people to look at what you sent. There are things called malware and viruses that if you click on links on the internet, they can send you to websites that are they're not good, and they get viruses on your computer. Those viruses oftentimes will take your personal information. That's happened to a lot of big businesses. Target recently had a malware or a virus in their computer system that took every customer's credit card information. So that was a big scare. So just stay cautious. If you ever see somebody friend request you and you don't know who they are personally, just press ignore. That person might just be somebody casually looking to meet new people, but more times than not, they are people looking to defraud you and take your information when they have no right doing so. So hopefully you already have some strategies in place to help having your personal information from being misused by someone else. If not, I would highly suggest that you think about those, and you can search the settings that you have, your privacy settings on Facebook and Instagram. Usually up in the top right hand corner there's a little gear. Press that and you can see your profile settings. Not only is it a good idea to have your personal profile safe, but here are 7 other tips that you can use to thwart thieves. So keep sensitive information close to the vest. Close to the vest means keep it close to you. Don't just share it freely with others. If you have a file at home that you can put a lot of personal information in it, do that. Put it in a place that's not necessarily seen by a lot of others, because that information is really just for you. Lighten up your wallet. Don't carry around too much cash. Don't carry around too many credit cards. Just use only what you need. If for some reason your wallet were to get stolen and you had a picture of your family in there, well, that person now knows what your family looks like. And not that they could become targets, but it would be they would be an easy target. So take out personal pictures if you can. Lighten up your wallet. Never leave blanks on a charged slip. So a charged slip is usually something you use with the bank. And if you leave blank spaces, it would be easier for somebody to come in and fill in those blanks. So sometimes that means that instead of writing a check for $20, you're actually writing a check for $200. Stick to secure web pages. Here at our school, we have a lot of secure web pages that our school makes sure are safe for our students and for our computers, so that no viruses or malware get in and take our information. When you're at home, make sure that you trust the website before you click into it. If a pop-up shows up and it says, "You've just won $1,000, you probably haven't. It's probably a trick, and they're probably trying to take some information that they shouldn't be. Shred ruthlessly. So if you have information just lying around the house and you feel like you don't need it anymore, shred it up, tear it up, throw it in the trash, tear it into tiny little pieces before you do that. Some people have been known to go through the trash to find personal information. It makes it a whole lot harder if your papers are torn up into tiny little pieces. There are computer safety software out there. It's called firewalls or anti-spyware and antivirus software that will help make sure that your computer and personal information on the computer is safe. And you also need to guard your smartphone too. Now with fingerprinting on like the iPhones and the Google Pixel, it does make it harder to get into your cell phone. But if somebody figures out your PIN number or you have a password on your phone, it would be very easy for them to get into a whole lot of your personal information. I have applications on my phone that link to my bank accounts and my credit card accounts and loans that I have, as well as some other personal information. And with a switch of a finger or knowing my passwords, somebody could get a lot of information from my phone. So you definitely want to be on the lookout. Make sure you're reviewing your accounts and billing statements. When you do get a credit card or a bank account, you want to make sure that nobody's making unauthorized purchases. If you see something and you don't remember making that purchase, you should call your bank right away. Same with your billing statements. If you see charges on there that don't look like you made them, call your credit card company. Sign up for email or text messaging alerts to be informed about your account activity. I actually have this on my phone. Anytime that I make a payment or purchase over $150, my phone buzzes me and says, "Hey, a purchase was just made. We just want to check and make sure that that was you." After $150, it becomes quite expensive to try and fix an error if somebody gets my information for my bank or for my credit cards. And it's a good idea to review your credit report at least once a year. Again, your credit report should stay pretty stable, a pretty good number as you are young. If you're taking out loans, it might go up and down. But if you see a huge dip or a huge spike in your credit report and you haven't paid off any loans or you haven't gotten any new loans, then you should probably look into why you have a different credit score than you did a year before. So if you haven't done anything to change your credit score, there might be an issue there. Both of my credit card companies give me a credit report every month, and I actually kind of just like to look at my credit score. I think it's fun to see how my credit changed or maybe didn't change and what I can do to improve my credit score. So these are just things that you can do. And remember, as a borrower and as a borrower of money, it's your responsibility to keep track of if there is fraud. Companies will help you out as well because they don't want to have to pay money, but you've got to be sure that you are being vigilant. You're looking out to make sure that nobody has information that they shouldn't have. So I also want to point out that confirming your statements in a timely manner, so making sure that your bank statements or your bills that you have to pay, confirming that that's the right amount and that there aren't any errors. You need to do that in a timely manner. A lot of times companies will say you only have a month to question a certain transaction. If you take longer than a month to look at your bank statement or your credit card statement, well, you're on your own. We can't help you anymore. So be sure to do this regularly. Right now I want you to pause and open your book to page 37, your student booklet to page 37, and I want you to look at the chart about how customers discover fraud. Go ahead and look at that chart and see how that chart compares with the Be on the Lookout, the tips that we have here. When you're done looking at that, you can press play again, but pause this for a second so you can look at the comparisons and contrasts from the video page to the booklet in your student guide. So you are done looking at page 37. So here are some actions that are good to take if you are a victim of fraud. If you ever see unauthorized charges, file a dispute. Call your company up, call your credit card company up and file a dispute. A dispute just means there's something wrong on my credit card statement. I'd like you to take a look at it. You can also contact the FTC. If you have a stolen purse or wallet, file a report with each company. So you might have 3 credit cards. You need to file a report with each company that says, I have gotten my credit card stolen. You also should call your cell phone company. If your cell phone was in your purse or wallet, call your cell phone company, tell them that your phone was stolen, and they will discontinue your number. Other important ideas are to file a police report. This is a legal matter, and the police need to be involved. File a fraud alert on your credit report with all 3 credit reporting agencies. So if they know that your information was stolen, then any marks on your credit score they'll kind of help you with so your credit score doesn't take a huge nosedive. Write your credit card companies to provide details of the incident so they know what happened. Document everything related to the situation. Everything that you can remember, document it. And check your credit report in a few months for unauthorized activity. Hopefully, if you're going through all of these actions, filing a dispute and calling your credit card companies and your cell phone companies, you won't see any unauthorized activity. Usually they'll cancel your credit card and send you a new one in the mail. But if your license is in your wallet or any other personal information, it could be very serious, and somebody could use that information to harm you and your credit score. Oh, guess what? Maria has just lost her new credit card. You know, the one that she begged and begged and begged her mom to get for her? She lost it. She's confided in you, but tells you not to worry because she's sure it will just turn up soon. She doesn't want to tell her mom because she's afraid that her mom's going to freak out again. And she's afraid that her mom will never let her ever have a credit card ever again. So what would you tell Maria? Okay, quick. I want you to take out a sheet of paper and number down the side 1 through 5, skipping every 2 or 3 lines. So I want you to free write for about 5 minutes. You'll have to pause this video. Free writing means that you just think of what the first thing that pops in your mind for about 5 minutes. So free write for about 5 minutes on what you would tell Maria to do now that she's discovered her credit card is missing. So focus on the steps she should take. Don't really worry about the grammar or the spelling or punctuation. Just come up with at least 5 actions. I'm going to leave these take action steps up on the screen for you as you free write for a few minutes. But you know, there are other steps that she could take as well. She's just waiting for her credit card to just pop up. But what are some things that you could do for Maria as a friend? Could you maybe help her retrace her steps and look for her credit card? What else could you help her do so that she could find her credit card before her mom finds out? So I'm going to pause this for you. Actually, I've run out of time on this video, so you can pause this so that you can keep these take action steps up. Remember, you're looking for 5 steps that you could help Maria find her credit card again. And when you're done with that, I will tune in with you in another video session. See you later.